Hey everybody, Original Run here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, a lot of people have been asking me the question as to what the difference is between the comic market, the Wonder Festival, and in this case now recently the Tokyo Game Show. And so I thought I'd do a little introduction video for those of you who are curious as to the main otaku related events that happen here and around Japan and when they occur during the year. So, starting on the left of this image you see on your screen, we have the comic market, or also known as Comiket, in summer and winter, which is held at the Tokyo Big Sight in Tokyo itself. It's held twice a year in both August and December, and for those of you who are unaware of what the comic market actually sells, it sells anime and VNs from professional companies on the fourth floor of the building, in addition to having cosplay events outside on the terrace in the fourth floor as well. And finally, the bulk of the comic market on the first and second floors, which is the Dojin market. Now, Dojins are essentially, for those of you that don't know, doujinshi, which doujinshi are fan-made stories, essentially, of popular anime, popular characters in shows where they draw their own fan art and then create stories out of them. Most of the time they are porn-related, but sometimes they're actually fan-made, meaningful fanfics, is what I guess you could call it. This is held twice a year. It is one of the most crowded events in the world. I went to both the winter and summer editions last year in 2014 and 2015, which was last August, and it is extremely crowded. Summer is probably more crowded than winter from when I was there, but it varies depending on the year, I suppose. It has been seeing more audience as time goes on. Some fun statistics that I actually learned about the comic market is that about 70% of the attendees are females and only about 30% are males, although this is balancing out. So actually more female otaku attend this than male otaku do, which you'd think would be the opposite considering the porn industry. But I found that a surprising statistic according to the last 3 years since 2012, around a little bit into 2013. That those are some of the statistics coming out. Now, this is usually held on a weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a 3-day event, and each event has different artists and different people coming from around the country or around the world to showcase their products. For example, there was a Katawa Shoujo booth, a Nekopara booth, which are more Western popular VNs in this case, in addition to all the famous artists like Kantoku, Go2P, and all these people that come with their artwork, and they have huge lines forming out for their work or catalogs. And it's a really fun event, but it's definitely something that I don't recommend a lot of claustrophobic or nervous introverts go to, because it definitely is very hard to navigate and you will get pushed and shoved by a bunch of sweaty people, and it's really tough to navigate in terms of trying to get through the crowds. The buildings itself and where the things are placed are not difficult to navigate, but the actual crowdedness of the building is what makes it challenging. So that's Comic Market, or Comiket in this case. Moving on to the middle image here, we have the Wonder Festival, or WF for short. Again, a summer and winter edition held at the Makuhari Meisei in Chiba, twice a year in July and February. Now, this one is basically the same exact format like Comic Market, except instead of doujins, which are fan novels, and then the VN professional companies and anime professional companies, you have figurines. So instead of doujins, we have what are called garage kits, and garage kits are figures that are fan-made figures in their own poses with their own PVC, and then you buy them from these artists. Some of them are extremely famous. I don't really know too much about the famous garage kit scene, but you buy these specific figurines from these artists and you paint them yourself and you assemble them yourself. Sometimes you can buy them pre-made, but very rarely does that happen, and it costs a lot more money if you want to do that. In addition to the garage kits, which are the doujin version for figurines, you also have the professional figure companies as well with their own floor in the Meisei. So you have all the companies like Alter, Ami, Good Smile Company, Nitro Plus, all these different companies coming together for the Wonder Festival. Again, twice a year. It's usually held over one day, not a 3-day weekend, so keep an eye on that. It's 1 day a year. This last month, it was on the 27th of July, in addition to when I went in February. I think it was on the 3rd. I can't quite remember the day. It's been a while. But it was a Sunday. It's usually held on a Sunday, is when it usually falls on, where the comic market is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the last one on the far right, we have the Tokyo Game Show, which is the video game display case. This is only held once a year, again at the Makuhari Meisei in Chiba. This year it was held in September. It's usually a 4-day event, which this year it landed on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was the last day. Usually open from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Wonder Festival is usually, again, open at around 10 a.m. till about 5 p.m. And same with the comic market each of the 3 days, 10 to 5. So it's not open all day like you'd think. So you got to get there early. You line up early, and it takes forever to get in, and it's crowded as hell. Now, the Tokyo Game Show is like all the displays for gaming. So this year, for example, there was a Final Fantasy XIV booth where you could play one of the primals in the game, and an MMO with people and win a t-shirt. And it also has press conferences for people going that want to display their games. So you have companies that make the Persona games, things that are really popular in Japan. But they also have companies like Nintendo and all the professional companies there as well at the Tokyo Game Show, which is, again, once a year. So this is just a quick video just kind of explaining the 3 major events that happen. And if you ever want to plan a trip here and want to go to any of these, this is how you do it. You can simply just type in Wonder Festival, whatever year you're looking for. In this case now 2016 coming up. There's also the 2015 one coming at, no, it would now be 2016, July and February, so not till February. The December comic market is coming up though. That's at the end of the year. Pretty much the end of the year, like the 28th and 29th and 30th or something, I think it was last year. I don't quite remember. So that's coming up, and that is essentially all the 3 different types of otaku-related event in Japan. So if you want to plan a trip, please do so. It's extremely fun. Like I said, they're all very, very crowded events. So if you're not that kind of person with crowded areas, I recommend trying to find something else to do with your time when you're in the country. With that said, thanks guys for joining me in this video. I hope this was a little bit of help, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.